Greetings, Lucid Ones. Alright, I have an exciting announcement, and that is that the books are in. So, I've been selling I wrote the Lucid Meditation book back in like 2010, so 10 years ago. And they've been selling ever since online, but I never actually ordered physical copies for myself. So this is the first time that I have actually had a physical copy of this. And there's a couple reasons why this is exciting, and why I'm making this video is not just to show these, but also to show these. But and that's because when you believe something's possible, it is. And when you believe it's not, it's not. I am somebody that has become a #1 best-selling author that also got kicked out of high school and never actually graduated. So I got kicked out. I tested and got my GED diploma or whatever, but I didn't technically graduate. So while yes, I am smart and I have a high IQ, it doesn't mean that I was able to check the boxes of what society labels as smart and successful, which is doing something as simple, which is as simple for most people as graduating high school. I couldn't even do that. So you can understand how I may have had some messages, subconscious beliefs, and a lot of things going on that would hold me back from being somebody that wrote a book, published a book, and actually got it to the #1 bestseller spot on Amazon. So the reason why I'm sharing this is because I want you to know that no matter what your head is telling you, no matter what limiting beliefs that you might have, it's not true. It's not true. We all can do, be, and have whatever it is that we really desire. I mean, of course, there are some, you could point out if you're, whatever, 5 feet tall, that you're probably not going to be in the NBA or whatever, which, that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is if you have something that you feel drawn and compelled to do, then typically the only thing that's really standing in the way from you doing that is your belief system. So I still have barriers. I still have blocks in my belief system that have challenged me onto accomplishing the next bigger, better thing. But this was a really good reminder that, you know what? There's no reason that I can't go out and accomplish great things. There's no reason that I can't do things that may have seemed impossible at one point. All I have to do is first of all, believe. Second of all, decide that I want to do this thing. Third of all, commit to doing this thing, meaning that no matter what setbacks happen, I'm gonna follow through and finish it. And believe me, there were a ton of setbacks with doing this. I am not somebody that's, literate with computers necessarily, and I did everything on my own. There was a lot of revisions, and there was a lot of setbacks, and people were constantly telling me that I had spelling errors, and there's probably still spelling errors in here, and grammar things, and and even just the setting up. There was a ton of setbacks and challenges, and I didn't give up. It took time to create these, and I followed through. And then the next step is, after being committed, is just staying with it. So you need to have that belief. You need to make a decision to yourself and to the universe, and then commit to it and follow through no matter what. And then another big part for me that I'm doing right now, and for us to remember, is that in manifestation, if we don't appreciate the things that we've manifested, and when we actually do accomplish something, then one, we're missing out on the real joy of it. Two, it sends a message to ourselves that our accomplishment wasn't significant enough or important enough. And then it kind of puts a filter on everything that we try to do moving forward. So while I can sit here and tell myself, well, it's not that big of a deal, and I did do that. I did do that for a while. I was like, well, it's just a book. A lot of people write books. It's not that big of a deal. But as I started to share with more and more people that I wrote these books, more and more people were like, wow, that's really impressive. That's really cool. Like, I wish I could do that. And I started to realize that it is a big deal. And regardless if it's a big deal to anyone else or not, it's a big deal to me, because I had this belief that I wasn't smart enough, that I wasn't good enough, that I couldn't accomplish things that were important. And, you know, I've been able to come to a place of appreciating myself, appreciating my gifts, my unique perspectives, appreciating my accomplishments, however big or small they may seem, um, and and realizing that, you know, that I can have a positive impact in the world, and that I you know, that I'm enough. So I wanted to share that with you for that reason, because I really want to invite you to feel inspired and invite you to chase down that dream, and you know, to not be overwhelmed, to really focus on one thing. Maybe you have a book in you that you've been wanting to write. Maybe you have a musical album that you've been wanting to make. Maybe there's a piece of art. Maybe there's a video or a webinar. Just, you know, whatever it is that you've been trying to get yourself to do. Just start taking steps. Just start doing something every day. 5-10 minutes towards your project, and monitor that little voice in your head, because that's really what stops us. Is that little voice. That's what really gets in the way. It's not our skill. It's not our, you know, it's not luck. It's not any of that stuff. It's about learning to make friends with the ego, which, you know, I have a section in the masterclass on, and I may release that video because it's really important. But making friends with the ego, so it's using it to our advantage, acknowledging that it's there, not buying into its negative beliefs and self-defeating, you know, prophecies. So that's the first reason I wanted to share that. The second reason is because I am really, really excited about it. I really feel like there's a ton of value in here, and I can't wait for more and more people to get the benefits from what's inside of here. I have the complete guidebook, which explains all of the Lucid Meditation philosophy, all of the techniques. It's kind of the complete guidebook, and it'll kind of get you the deeper spiritual practices and ideas. If you're somebody that is really looking for that, if you're somebody that really wants to take your meditation practice deeper, your spiritual connection deeper, your relationships more, you know, get a little deeper and more conscious in your relationships with other people, with yourself, with the world as a whole. It teaches you how to connect with animal spirits. It teaches you how to use sacred geometry in meditation. There's a lot of kind of Zen meditation practices in here, just like awareness and mindfulness practices. It's very dense. So if you're somebody that's looking to like really get into this stuff, like really have something kind of shift, you know, all areas of your spiritual practice, this is the book here. If you're somebody that's kind of wants a quick start guide and something, basically the condensed version of this, I made the action manifestation workbook. So they go together perfectly. If you use them together, it's amazing. It's magical. If you're somebody that's just like, I want to get started now, I want to just know the basic technique, and I want to know the reason why, this is going to really help you. Teaches you the main toning technique that we use in Lucid Meditation. This teaches you how to do that. This teaches you about lucid law of attraction. So kind of the deeper, you know, part of manifestation, how it really works, and the dangers of not doing it properly, or why most people think it doesn't work. And then I've created a graph and a chart of the main kind of characteristics that we hold in each of our energy centers. So this is a really nice introduction to chakras for you. So if you've had, you know, experience with them before, that's great. It's only going to go along perfect with this. It's not going to conflict or anything like that. And if you're somebody that's heard of them but doesn't have any idea what they are, This is really going to help give you a clear idea of why it's so important to know our energy system, why it's so important to know what each chakra holds, what information is in there. And then we're going to go into making some goals for each chakra. So once we learn what's in that energy center, we're going to have a little goal setting so that we can really clear out some things that aren't serving us anymore and invite some new energies in that will help us to get the results in life that we want. We have nice charts that you can put those in there. And then we have the vows, the release vows. So this is for yourself. You can share it in the group. You can share it with me. I always love hearing people's release vows. They're really meaningful and deep and powerful. And this is kind of your commitment letter to yourself and the universe of putting down in paper. Writing is very powerful. So we really need to be careful what we write. So when we write something down, like an intention, it's kind of like a contract, a sacred contract, if you will. So when we're writing something like this down, it makes it a lot more serious, and it gives it a lot more power than when we just say it, especially if we just say it to ourselves or in our head. And especially if you share this with somebody that you really trust, that's safe, it makes it really powerful, and it really helps that release to be complete and long lasting. And then we have something that I've found to really help my students and clients, and it's the commitment plan. So this is just, you look at your week and you're able to kind of make a plan of when you're going to fit your meditation time in. Because a lot of times if we don't plan for something, it doesn't happen. We really need to schedule stuff in. Anytime you have a really important meeting or event, you put it in your calendar, right? It's like you plan that time, you dedicate that time, and you set a reminder for yourself. So when we do that with our meditation, it automatically takes away all the ambiguity, and it really sets in place. It's like, okay, on Monday, and it goes through the whole week. So there's 3 things that it invites you to do is, the day and time. So the day and time that you're going to do it about, but also how long. So if you're going to say, I'm going to do 10 minutes, all I have is 10 minutes, but I'm going to do that 10 minutes. Or if I have an hour that day, I'm going to do an hour that day and 10 minutes the rest of the week. Whatever it is, you're putting it down in writing. And then you're gonna put a focus or a chakra, an energy center that you're gonna focus on. So you're gonna put the kind of area that you want to focus on in that meditation. It doesn't have to be that, it's not set in stone, but it kind of gives you a good springboard or starting point, and to see if you can if there's something specific you want to work on, because you might forget that as well. And then you can kind of compare afterwards, like, what did I actually meditate on? And then what you're manifesting. So if you're setting an intention to manifest something at the end of your meditation practice, or through your meditation practice, the chances that you're going to do so are about 99% higher. It's just like, the Harvard studies that show when people write down their goals, they're, in the 97% higher to accomplish them. And it's the same thing with this. If you're putting down in writing that you are hoping to manifest this inner peace or something, along those lines, or maybe you're hoping to manifest, material security, or, communication in your relationship, whatever it is that you're specifically trying to manifest, you are 10 times more likely to have that happen, because you're setting an intention, you are triggering that part of your brain that is going to look for clues to support that and look for ways to make it happen. So yeah, there's a lot in this. It's condensed down to only like 25 pages, but do not be fooled. This is very valuable, and people have had amazing results with this. So that's what those are. You can grab those by clicking the link in the bio, and I would love to hear your feedback on those. I'd love to hear the success stories, or what people learned, their experience with it. I love to hear people going into it thinking, oh, I thought it was going to be this, but it's this, and I'm always available for questions. Send me a private message, or just put it in the comments, or join the Facebook group. We're in there a lot, and reach out if you want to be part of a conscious conversation that we're going to be having. There's also a link in the bio. So I want to invite you to that. Space is very limited. Time is limited. It may not be there by the time you watch this. So if you're interested in that, please join now, because it's going to be a really great way for us to set up a spiritual open conversation that will hopefully carry on to the other relationships in your life and carry on past just this discussion. But it's all about navigating spirituality in this new world that we're in this new paradigm shift. And I'm really excited to have it be where I'm not only talking, but I also get to hear from you. So join that, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.